Okay, how do you pronounce the word? Nicole.
Opportune.
Opportune, yeah.
Opportune.
That's correct. I just said that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, do you want to make guesses?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. The sentence is, the sly dog patiently waited for the opportune moment before snatching the bread. What does sly mean?
Sneaky.
Sneaky, yeah. So, what are your guesses for the word? Perfect? Any?
Right.
Right? Okay. Nicole?
Free chance.
Okay. Carson?
The sneakiest.
The sneakiest? Okay. Eve?
Correct.
The correct time? Okay. Okay. Amazing. Okay. You all use the adjective, so that's good. The actual definition is well-timed, occurring at a perfect time. So it means the perfect time, the best time, whatever you mainly said the right thing, so good job. So copy that down and then get your sentence quickly, and then I will go over what we're doing today. No, you take it.
Matthew and Bryce.
Who's there?
Braxton.
Where's Braxton? Right here.
Braxton left her.
Oh, Braxton.
Oh, somebody told me.
Did you get Braxton?
Yeah, Mark.
Alright, I'm checking for sentences.
Did you already check that?
Not yet. It was over there. What? Okay, I think everybody has a sentence. So now, today we're going to be going over what we're going to do for the debate tomorrow, and we're going to practice. So that you know what you're doing, and we're going to do it with a different topic. So first I'm going to tell you what your groups are and what position you're going to take tomorrow. Okay, group 1 is going to be you 4. Group 1, remember your number, group 1. Group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, group 8.
What group am I in?
6. Okay, now this side of the room, you are arguing for uniforms, and you guys are arguing against uniforms. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go over how the debate is going to work tomorrow before we actually practice it. So, the steps are up here. So, I'm going to go over it with you. You guys follow along. So, there's going to be 4 chairs on each side facing each other. So, there'll be 4 chairs right here, 4 chairs right here. A team from this side will sit in the 4 chairs, and a team from this side will sit in these 4 chairs. Okay? Then, the round will start when one person from the pro side, they'll raise their hand, be called on, and they will state their claim or their argument. Then, someone from the same group will raise their hand and provide a piece of evidence to back up the argument that they just stated. Following? So 2 people will speak. Okay? If you do the correct argument and a good piece of evidence, you'll get a point for each towards your team, which is this whole side.
Okay.
Then the con side will go. They'll do the same thing. One person will state their argument countering what the other team just said, and then one person will provide a piece of evidence. So for each round, each team should have 2 different people speaking. Okay? And then I'll give points to that side. And then everybody will rotate, and different teams will come sit in the chairs. Okay? So we're going to rotate each round, each group of people. Everybody should get the opportunity to speak at some point. If 2 people are speaking each time, and you have 2 different people speak each round that you're up here, everybody should get the chance to speak. It's going to be participation grade. I'll keep track of who speaks. So the same person doesn't need to be speaking each round. You need to give everybody a chance. Okay, if you're going to be the one to speak, this is what you have to do. You have to raise your hand and wait for me to call on you. That's the first thing. Then, if you're stating a claim, you're going to state it something like this. Students should or should not, based on which side you are, wear uniforms because, and then you'll state your claim. The person who's providing the evidence will raise their hand and they'll say to back up that claim, and then they will provide the piece of evidence. Okay, then when we move to the other side, the first person to speak will say, you make a valid point by stating that, and then you're going to recap what the person over here said. So you have to listen to what they said. So you're going to say, you make a valid point by stating blah, 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 blah. However, then you'll state your claim. Then the person providing the evidence will raise their hand and say to back up that claim, and they'll provide their evidence. Clear?
Clear.
Got it? Okay, a couple things. If you're not up here actually doing the debating, you still need to listen. Because if you're not listening and you come up here and state an argument that's already been made, you're going to get a point off for your team because you weren't listening. Okay? Okay, so we're going to practice this with a different topic because we're not going to do the exact same thing that we're doing tomorrow. So I need these 4 people to bring your 4 chairs and line them up right here and have a seat. And these, you bring all 4 though. Line them right here.
So I'm here.
A little bit over you. Okay, you guys on the pro side, right?
Yeah, Carson really is.
Here's 2 pieces of paper. You guys share them amongst yourselves based on who's talking. Here's 2 for you guys. Share these. Okay, this sheet of paper, it has several different claims, and right under it, it has evidence that backs it up. The topic is, should schools allow cell phones in the classroom? Okay, so you guys are pro, so you have claims that I found for you that argue that they should be allowed, and then a piece of evidence under it. And you guys have arguments for why it shouldn't be allowed.
Do we have to use this paper?
For today, yes, because we didn't research this actual topic. You'll be using your research tomorrow. Okay, so I'm the moderator, so I would say, okay, the question is, should cell phones be allowed in the classroom? And I'll say, okay, pro side, you have the floor. So one of you will have to raise your hand, and you'll read one of your claims. You can raise your hand. Yes, you. Okay. So now state it the way that we talked about. So you're going to say, students should use cell phones in the classroom because, and then you'll read your claim.
Students should be allowed to use cell phones during school. Cell phones can be used to help children with disabilities effectively communicate and learn.
Okay.
For example, the iPhone offers the application iPhones. The app facilitates communication between deaf students and general education teachers and others who do not sign. Students and teachers who need to learn American Sign Language can use a program containing 800 signs with gestures modeled with a 3D character.
Okay, good. So you would each get a point because that argument was good and the piece of evidence that you provided backed up that argument. Okay? Now we go to the con side. Someone raises their hand who wants to state the claim. Not you, you're not in that group.
Oh, it's on them?
Yes. Only people that are in the chairs. Carson.
Alright,
State it this way. Students.
students should not have phones in school because, they can also be, missionized for cyberbullying and harassment to other students, and that could like hurt.
Okay. You want to provide evidence? Yes.
Whenever large is concerned, should parents in school administrators decide but to do a balance, I don't use it.
evidence. Now everybody will switch. Team 2, Team 2 will go right here, and Team 6 will go right here. Pass your papers off to the next team.
Just keep your character, please.
You can sit in their seats, or you can go stand. Okay. Now, make sure that you know which argument they've already used. You don't want to state the same one. We'll start with the pro side again. Raise your hand if you want to state the argument.
Which one should we? I don't know.
Yours are common.
Somebody gotta go. Mercedes, yes.
Parents use cell phones to, cell phones should be used in classrooms because parents use cell phones to communicate with the students.
Okay, very good. Now who's gonna back it up?
Just A1.
Denise.
But, for example, banning cell phones entirely can create unaccepted problems. Many parents support phones in school so they can coordinate pickups and after-school activities with their children. They also want to be able to reach them in case of emergency.
Okay, good. On side.
Oh, man.
Amaya. Hold on. You gotta say it like this. You gotta say, you make a valid point by stating that, and then you gotta recap what they said. Remember what they said?
No.
Do we have to say?
Yes. I forgot to have you do it. Because you gotta ensure that you were actually listening to their argument.
Oh.
Although there is ways that parents can communicate with their child at school, cell phones can also be used to help individuals cheat on exams because of their small size, access to endless information. They increase pressure to do well on tests, make this seem like a viable option.
Okay, evidence. Raise your hand if you want to read the evidence. Nicole?
According to Article.
Keep going.
According to an article by U.S. News, more than 75% of parents responding to the survey say that cell phone cheating happens at their children's school, but only 3% believe that using a cell phone cheating.
Okay, very good.
That's the logic.
Next teams. Rotate. Make sure you pass your papers.
Oh, my God.
I wonder
Look at my shield. You all have a paper. Excuse me, Carson. Thank you, Carson.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
Okay, pro side. Raise your hand when you want to speak.
Students should be allowed to use cell phone during class because cell phone expands collaboration.
Okay? Raise your hand if you want to provide evidence. Yes, go ahead.
The fact that teachers are using this form to create virtual classrooms and design courses that all students can use it for peer-to-peer discussions and problem solving. This enables students to have better communication with teachers, especially for questions or clarifications, and teachers are able to join and to answer questions or steer conversations in the direction he or she would like them to go.
Okay, very good. On side. Raise your hand if you want to get the claim. Remember to phrase it. You made a valid point by saying that. Okay, then. Do you remember what their argument was? You remember what they said? You can just summarize it. Do you remember what she said? Like you can just use any of them that are on there.
But you have to tell, like.
Well, tomorrow I would like for you to do that, but today we're just practicing. So use any of them. But say, to make a valid point by stating that and summarize what you said.
We need a lot of points in that, by saying that the word school.
What was it? What was your argument? Let him see it real quick. Okay.
However, using cell phones don't count as sentences and income.
Alright, evidence, raise your hand. No, what did you just read? Okay, there you go, Aaron.
According to NCLAPT, the argument is that cell phones should be used as
Socioeconomic.
means of discrimination and one can afford and others and others things about it.
Okay, is that the one that you, is that the claim that you read? Okay, read the correct evidence. Okay, yes, Aaron.
Reading high school students have grown. No. The one under it. I just read that.
You just heard that one.
And you just told me that wasn't right.
Which one, which claim did you read?
I just read the couple of ones under it.
Okay, then you read the correct one.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. Switch.
I'm not gonna do Carson, did you just say that was due today? That was due 3 weeks ago.
You need another chair?
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
An increasing students should use cell phones because an increasing number of education apps are being developed and improved upon to help incorporate more interactivity into the learning process.
Alright. Who's next? Evidence.
To back up
Raise
that,
your hand.
yes, to back up that claim, there is a lot of substantial evidence to show the kind of learning that is possible for kids using these devices. When properly supported and managed by teachers who make the best of this can be powerful.
Okay, good. To the con side. Raise your hand if you want to give the argument.
Oh.
Activities like,
You make a valid point, that part right there? Yes, go on.
You made a valid point